I acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the stolen land on which this video was recorded and edited on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I extend that respect to the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia. I also pay respect to the elders both past, present and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. I am going to say I'm excited about every single one of these books. So I'm going to need some synonyms. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be filming a book haul. I'm very excited. I have lots of books to share with you all that I'm very keen on reading. I've had this stack here for a while now, so I really want to get through it, get it on my shelf, get into it. These are books that I've purchased over the past 6 months or so. Let's get straight into it. I've separated everything that I've bought into genre. So we're gonna go through each genre, talk about the books. We're gonna start off with fiction. The first book that I got is actually a young adult romance. It's called Dancing Barefoot by Alice Boyle. It's described as a joyful, feel-good romance, growing up queer, staying true to yourself and your friends, finding love, and learning to embrace the obstacles life throws in your path. It looks really fun, and I actually originally thought it was an adult fiction, but yeah, I haven't been excited about a young adult fiction in a while, so I'm excited to have picked this up. The next book that I got was actually gifted to me from somebody in the book community. Her name is Alex, and she recently moved back home out of Australia, and so she was getting rid of some books and she gave me a few of them, and I'll go through them here. But the first one is Convenience Store Women by Sayaka Murata, and it's quite a small book actually. It's about this woman in her 30s. She's never had a boyfriend, she's never been married, and she's been working in the same convenience stores for years upon years. And it's just about her story, I assume. It sounds really great. Intoxicating, exhilarating, weird, funny, quirky, hilarious. So that's kind of like the rep that it's been given. I think it's gonna be similar to like something like Milk Fed or Bunny, something like along those lines. I actually don't know what genre it is. I just know that it's fiction. But yeah, it's intriguing and I'm excited to pick it up eventually. The next category is nonfiction. I'm very excited about all of the nonfiction that I have here. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame that I haven't started any of these. I've been meaning to, but I've been a bit of a reading slump lately. Not that I've been in a reading slump, but I have been super duper busy, and I've also been really sick, so I've just like not been in the reading mood. But I'm in a big reading mood today, so I hope to get lots of reading done. The first book that I have here is Unfuck Your Habitat by Rachel Hoffman. This was actually given to me by a friend to borrow to read when I get to it. But yeah, I really like that it's kind of like worn in and like it's really great. It's about housekeeping, organizational systems, and from what I know about it, it's for people that want to leave behind traditional systems of keeping a house. I hope that it's similar to a book that I read recently called How to Keep House While You're Drowning. It was very neurodivergent friendly, so that's what I'm hoping this will be. Being an adult in your 20s, there's a lot of things you gotta learn when you're living outside of home about cleaning, about organizing, about keeping a house while your mental health is in the shitter. So I hope that this book brings that. But yeah, I'm excited about that one. I am going to say I'm excited about every single one of these books. So I'm going to need some synonyms. The next book I have in this pile is Be Not Afraid of Love by Mimi Zhu, Lessons on Fear, Intimacy and Connection. And like, just a moment for that cover. Wow. So stunning, so amazing. So the story behind this is my friend Chloe actually found this person through a mutual friend and found out that they were doing a book talk near us. So me, Chloe and Kitty went to the book talk on this book. It was amazing. The energy in that room was so special. I will never ever forget it. So many amazing quotes, so many amazing discussions being had about home and identity and anxiety and land and love and intimacy and allowing yourself to be a messy human. It really moved me in a way that I have never experienced anywhere else. And it was extremely, extremely inspiring. And at that point in the book talk, I hadn't actually even read the book yet. So I knew that this was going to be a good one to pick up. I know that I'm going to love it. Like, I have no doubts about that. And something really fun about this book is that it has like little drawings at the start of each page, at each chapter I mean. So beautiful. Oh, and she also wrote a little message in the book. It says, "Hi Abby, thank you for being your loving being, Mimi." And I just really, really loved that. So yeah, I'm so excited for this book. Wow, so many good books. I'm thrilled about it. The next book that I have in the non-fiction category is My Titter, My Sister by Marley Silver. This book is a collection of short stories from Indigenous women in Australia. Stories of strength and resilience. It also has really lovely artwork in it. And I'm really, really, really excited to pick this up. One of my goals this year was to read a book by an Indigenous author every single month. Unfortunately, that has not happened because I read one book in March and like I said, I've been in a reading slump. But I really want to pick this one up for the month of April. Yeah, and that cover is just so stunning. The next book is a book that I also found with my friend Chloe. We literally saw it in the bookstore and we were like, stopped in our tracks, immediate attention to this book, and I'm so excited to read it. Like it looks amazing. One of my other friends, Amila, she had a flip through it and she was really enchanted by it. That book is Our Work is Everywhere, an illustrated oral history of queer and trans resistance by Cyan Rose. And just a moment for this cover. Through bold, symbolic imagery and surrealist overlapping landscapes, queer illustrator and curator Cyan Rose shines a light on the diverse, amorphous, messy, real, and imagined faces and voices of queer and trans communities in America. It's so inspiring. It's something like I would love to create one day. Yeah, it's really, really special and I can't wait to experience it. That's it for the non-fiction section. Let's go into adult romances. It's been a while since I've read an adult romance and I miss it. I really miss it. The first book I got was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is like a very popular book on BookTok, BookTube, and from what I know of some of my friends' taste, this is one of their favorites in the like book themed romances that Emily Henry has. This is the novel that the two main characters are in the publishing industry. One's a publisher and one's an editor, I believe. And they both go on vacation hoping to find something that's not in their hometown, I assume. And they just keep bumping into each other. I think it may be like a enemies to lovers kind of vibe or like hatred to lovers kind of vibe. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I love a fluffy romance and this seems like, I mean, I hope it's good. But yeah, I think I'll do a reading vlog for this one and maybe like some other Emily Henry books because I know she's quite popular. And yeah, it would be nice to get my thoughts on like her romance novels. The next book that I have is one that I feel extreme upset that I haven't read it, but it is Kiss Her Once For Me by Alison Cochrane. You wanna come say hi, sweetie? The premise of this book is one that I have not heard before. It's actually set in holiday time, which is winter time for America. But in Australia, we have hot summers. So I had to decide whether or not I was gonna read this during the festive season or read this during winter. And I think I settled on winter because it's gonna be like cozy snow vibes, even though it doesn't snow here. Where I am, it doesn't snow. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a really nice winter moment. It's a woman loving woman romance. It's set in Portland. It has the fake dating trope, but it's interesting in that there's the fake dating trope with this guy and then she has a big crush on the guy's sister, which is the real like romance in the in the story. I'm very excited for this one. The last romance novel that I have is Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. Now, this is the second in a 3-tier series of Women Love and Women romances. I really love Delilah Green Doesn't Care. The writing is really good, but my only thought is that it gives a lot of detail and the books could be cut down. But it does help with the atmospheric of the romance books, so not complaining. So this one follows Astrid Parker, which is the sister of Delilah, who is the main character in the original series. She's an interior designer, which I'm actually qualified to do. I don't actually currently do it right now. And so I feel like it's gonna be a fun little concept for me. And I think she has a little maybe romance with like someone working on the project that she's working on. I'm not gonna go too much into each synopsis because I don't want to give spoilers. But yeah, if this sounds like something that would interest you, definitely pick it up because I can't believe I haven't read it yet. The next category is poetry. I am in my poetry era, may I just add. I'm currently going through Ruby Kaur's Healing Through Words book. She gives you like a lot of different prompts and like helps you to like curate your writing. And I'm loving it so far. So I'm really in my poetry era. I only have like a very small collection of poetry. This is gonna make it definitely bigger, but if you have any recommendations for poetry based on what I've picked up, let me know. So the first one I have is also from Alex, who I mentioned earlier in the video, and it is Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong. I first heard of Ocean Vuong from Chloe Bunny. There was one quote that really fucked me up that I was like, okay, I immediately need to read more of his work. And so I'm really happy that I picked this up. I know he has a few other collections, but yeah, I'm excited to just delve into it. Let me get the quote that fucked me up. So the quote that I was really drawn to is, "The most beautiful part of your body is where it's headed. And remember, loneliness is still time spent with the world." From Ocean Vuong's poem, Someday I'll Love. The next poetry book is The Girl and Her Goddess by Nikita Gill. I'll be honest, I don't know much about this. It was also given to me by Alex. I saw it in a bookstore in the city and I really wanted to get it, but I ended up putting it back for some reason. And clearly the universe was like, you're putting this back because you're gonna get it from somebody else later as a gift. So, oh my gosh, I have to read this because it's like so beautifully woven about what the book is about. Nikita Gill's masterful poetry and beautiful illustrations conjure up jasmine-scented voices and smiles inhabited by ancestors' souls, rain dancing in a new city and the painful caverns in our hearts. If that seems something that's up your alley, definitely pick this one up. The next collection I have is The Essential Poems of Rumi. Rumi is somebody that I knew about but was introduced and encouraged to read by Chloe. Everything that I've seen of Rumi online, quotes on walls and things like that, I've loved, so I definitely wanted to pick this up. I also got this from Alex. Thank you so much, Alex. Shout out to her. And it's got like little tabs of her favorites, so I'm excited to see those. The next poetry collection that I have is Black Work by Alison Whitaker. I was actually going to my friend's house and I saw this like box of books on the side of the road and one of them was this, so I'm very excited to pick this up and clearly like I was meant to find it. It's a powerful collection of memoir, reportage, fiction, satire, critique from which two things emerge: an incomprehensible loss and the poet's fearless examination of the present. Alison Whitaker is an Indigenous Gomeroi woman, and so I think it's really perfect that I found this. The next one that I have is Youth and I, issue 3. I think this is actually a magazine slash sign. I don't know too much about it. I picked it up when in Australia we had World Pride, end of February, start of March, and one of our skincare stores in the city was turned into a queer library where you could go and get a queer book for free. This is the one that I picked up. It was actually the only one left, but I'm glad that I've got it because it looks amazing. It has amazing art, a lot of queer experiences, queer stories. I'll show you one of my favorite pages. So yeah, I'm really excited to pick this up. The next one that I have is Dream, Gather and Grow. It's a First Nations Australia LGBTQIA+ poetry collection. It is actually edited by Alison Whitaker, which is the same person as before, and Stephen Lindsay Ross. I went to an Indigenous exhibition and they were selling these at the counter, so I picked this up and I'm very, very excited. And I'll just read you this quote encapsulating what this is all about. "We gather as a diverse yet unified mob. We dream and imagine a just and fair world, and we work together to amplify our voices and share our lived experiences as the First Nation peoples of this land we now call Australia. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It seems like it's going to be really powerful. The next category is fantasy. There's a few here, but they're just chonky, so the stack looks bigger than it actually is. The first one that I picked up, which I mentioned in my previous vlog that I uploaded, that was from ages ago, that I still haven't actually read. I'm really, really upset. But it's Babel. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways by R.F. Kuang. If you don't know what this is, if you haven't heard about Babel, where have you been? Like, seriously. Amazing writing. I started the first chapter. There's my bookmark. I don't know why I stopped. I think I just wasn't in the mood for a fantasy at that point, but I'm so excited to finish this. I really like this tagline, so I'm going to share it, but it is, "An act of translation is always an act of betrayal." It's set in Oxford 1836, and its setting is Oxford University. I'm so excited. It is dark academia. It is fantasy. It is, I think, found family. It is everything that I need in my life, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. Yeah, if this is something that intrigues you, highly recommend already. The next one I picked up was actually a book that I got from one of the bunny meetups. It was in the middle of the pile and I don't actually know what it's about. I just purely picked it up because of the cover. It looked really beautiful. That is Daughter of Darkness by Catherine and Elizabeth Cole. It is a Greek mythology book and it's set in the house of Hades. She's a soul severer and she's responsible for shepherding souls to their death. Amazing, interesting concept and beautiful cover. Loving Greek mythology. I actually just dropped my friend off to go to Greece today, so this feels very fitting that I'm talking about this book. But yeah. The next one is Book of the Night by Holly Black. I haven't read The Cruel Prince. I'm sorry. I purely picked this up because of the cover. It's beautiful. It's like one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen in my entire life. And if I don't like it, I don't know what I will do because of the cover. It's so beautiful. How can I part with it? But yeah, this is another one that I picked up at the bunny meetup. I am not actually too sure what it's about. I think it may have witches, grimoires, that kind of thing, purely based on the cover and my quick skim of the back. I'm a kind of person who doesn't mind going into a book knowing nothing about it. If you like Holly Black's writing and you're intrigued by the cover like I was, then go pick it up. The next one is a bittersweet purchase for me because I really loved the original cover, the self-published cover, and the traditionally published version is not my favorite cover that I've ever seen. It's still cool, but in comparison, it just doesn't do justice to what the cover was. And so I was kind of holding off to find the original cover, but it's basically impossible to find. So I bit the bullet and I bought the cover that I don't like. This is none other than A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is the original cover, just for reference. From what I know of it, it has polyamorous rep, it's vampire love story. Sounds amazing. Why haven't I read it? It's a crime. It's seriously a crime. But if you have the original cover and you don't like the book, hit me up. Lots of love. The last book that I have is actually really amazingly matching my outfit, but it is none other than Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I'm terrified of this book. I'm absolutely terrified because I've read Chain of Gold, I've read Chain of Iron, I'm currently rereading Chain of Iron, and I've been putting off finishing Chain of Iron to start this because all I've heard is bad things about this book, and this is like so far my favorite series of any of the Cassie Clare books, and I really don't want it to be fucked up. So yes, this is what I think about this book so far. I'm going in with very low expectations, but maybe that's going to be helpful. Maybe that's going to be good. I don't know. But I need to read this very soon. But also, soon is too soon enough for my heart to be shattered. For whatever happens in this book, I am deeply afraid. Anyways, I will be filming a vlog reading this, so if you're interested in that, check it out if it's already up. Something I really love about this edition is that it has art throughout the book. If you don't know about Cassandra Clare, or if you're a bit confused about how to read these books, that is a whole separate video. If that's something that you want to see, let me know. I mean, it's been done before, but yeah, this is part of the Last Hours trilogy, which is following the children of the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Princess, the Infernal Devices, this trilogy. So my quick advice to you is, if you are interested in picking this up, which you're probably not based on what I've already said about it and how I'm terrified to read it, but on the slight chance that you don't know what this is, yeah, don't read this series before the Infernal Devices. You will deeply regret it. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a little mushroom in the comments if you've watched till the end of the video. Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice time with it. Bye.